Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Let's start to play these games and send me challenge if you want to play. Now we will play Vienna Gambit. Why not? Very good opening. A5 is under attack. If he takes, just d4 should be a really good square for me. But I don't know why he's blundering his pawn here on a5. Then pawn d4 is coming, bishop activation, and we will see. Bishop c4 e2, where can I move? This shouldn't be a mistake, but bishop c4 also he can't bring the rook on a8 and try to pressure my pawn. Because he missed the pawn on e5 and now the rook isn't blocked from his pawn. And I'm gonna castle, bring the rook, bring the queen, and f7 is a little bit weakness for him. Hello Kavya Kabish. Just I need to go, I was in a hurry, but I returned. Okay, let's continue to play. If you want, send me challenge. I will play with you. What can I say? Well, let's bring other pieces in my position. In this position I'm waiting until my opponent will take on c5 and then just okay, I waited for that. In last move I will go bishop activity, because if I bring bishop e7 and he wants to take, just I will lose 2 moves there. Well, you know I'm waiting for your challenges. If anyone wants to play, send me. Now d4 isn't pressure so good, so I can't do anything here, just let's wait. Not that good, around 600 or 700. No problem, I have followers that they have, I will say, 100 and between 200 rating. Rating is not a problem, that's educational channel and I'm trying to help improve your chess. Not a problem. Find me on chess.com and send me challenge. Probably he's trying to castle, but I believe bishop g2. Just if I check how can he defend that king. Okay, I thought that that's why I said bishop g2 because you know that h3 was undefended. I don't know why even he did that. Tese Ninja, this ninja item name. Okay, I will wait for your challenge. Now I'm gonna take f2. I probably could even knight a4 because g3 should be hang because you know he can't take because for this pin. But I think f2 is a very huge attack on him. And actually, how can he defend f2? That's why he resigned, and actually if I take, probably I'm gonna win that. Վարդան Հարությունյան, հա աղբերս, ինձ միջև գտնես չես կոմով միատ կասցինեմ խաղամ. How do I bet my friends? Just you need to calculate very well and how much rating your friends has. Just if below house and you need to see three forward moves. That's actually a good idea and you need to learn end games. If you do that all, just try to memorize the board in your mind and learn end games. And play more rapid or even classic games if you can. Just don't play so much blitz or bullet. Okay, I can bring the queen and even sacrifice the bishop on e6. I am wondering that. Okay, why not? That should be right idea. Noob Satrang, hello brother. Thank you for coming my stream. If his king was on center, I will trade that. Hello bro, how are you? Now what should I do? Probably try to kick his queen and even try to push that queenside pawns forward. Yes, why not? I'm remembering you. b5 should be great move because just I'm gonna pin his queen and bishop. So I'm gonna take one of that figures because in this diagonal they are doing really great job. If I take, his knight should be active there. Just that's why I'm not doing. But if he takes also, that's a pin I can't take. Let's protect with a bishop. Okay, that won't be open and he can't take, you know. My queen is still defending. But he can take the knight and then the bishop. At the time I needed to take with a pawn, you know. My king structure, my pawn structure would be a little bit weak. That's why I brought my bishop back. I'm afraid also that he's not jump on c5 because some threats, you know. You play good chess. Thank you for that. Wanna play after this game? Okay, send me challenge. But I think that should be only move or not. What about this? Just I think if I take with the queen, just he can take this knight on f3 and at that time just my pawn structure would be destroyed there. The knight is hang, okay. Let's bring that on the center and take with a bishop, right? Because my bishop isn't doing a great job and also I will bring one protector on that f3. How can you draw these arrows? I'm drawing this with computer and if you can just try to change something from your settings. Settings is the problem. With phone you can't. Well, I'm gonna check and trade the queens and actually my rook will do great job on that 5th rank. And even I'm trying to push this a pawn also forward. I don't think I need to push c pawn because you know rook c8 and I can't push that so far from here. Okay, his rooks are double, really great idea, but what can he do here? With left arrow. Ah, yes. If I go a6, he can block even with b6, but a6, I don't care if he blocks, just his white squares will be very weak at this time. Queen where? Probably a5 I will try to trade here. My knight should be in a really good square. Okay. Really good move from him. Let's trade the queens. He damaged my pawn structure, but actually I have passed pawn here. Still I can't use because b6 is overprotected from him, but anyway. We have enough time to bring the bishop, and how I said we are getting these really good white squares. When will you come live tomorrow? Same time which I'm doing now. And probably he's trying rook d1 somehow. He's not up anything, so that should be okay if I trade some pieces. Okay, let's wait and double the pawns, okay? Is that a blitz game? Yes, that's 3+2. That's why I'm not worried about so much about the time. Let's just defend everything in my position, and that's time to bring the king forward. Also defend some weak pawns. f3 can actually happen. I would like to keep my king here just for bring the rook. I'm from Armenia. King f2, probably I can sacrifice the pawn on h4, and his 3 pawns just should be in a very bad place. I will try to take something from here, but if he takes this sacrificed pawn, just I will go rook g6 or even h1. I will take 2 pawns from him, and his rooks are very far for defend. Let's be sure we are not get mate here. Let's defend with a rook, because somehow that can be tricky. Also, if I do some mistake, king a3 after this check, that should be made for sure. If he takes, okay, he's not doing. I'm trying to get that some open file for my rook. What if I trade? If I trade, I will win for sure, because I can sacrifice my pawn on b6. Okay, see, that's winning for me. He was really good at the middle game and opening, but you know, because he don't know endgames so well, just he missed that idea. Okay, let's push this pawn. Have you played an computation? Yes, I here where I'm living there is no much computation, but I'm about 2000 national rating. I haven't national rating yet, but after some computation I will play, I will have some real FIDE rating. Okay, I won this. Who wants to play? Send me challenge, I'm waiting some seconds. Well, we have challenge. Sicilian defense, probably. Goodbye, bro. Have a good day. I am 18 years old. About 19. I went my knight on a7 because f6 probably he can just kick, and where should I bring the knight? But d5 is overprotected. Please wait after your game ends. 340-second delay. Really? I have that delay this time too? Well, let's go a6, and the idea is c4 and then pawn on b5. He missed that. Yes, I knew he's gonna miss that. I'm gonna take and probably queen b6. Also pressure his central pawn, and actually bishop should be under attack. a4 can be a really great move, and he needs to push his queenside pawns forward because we traded just one bishop for 2 pawns. Our position is very good, I will say. What if knight g6? I'm up a figure I can trade, and if he even takes, probably that should be pin and a little bit risky, but anyway. We couldn't just bring bishop on a7 because that should be unprotected. He could attack with very much pieces. That's why I'm creating this really good pawn and bishop chain. Our bishop is very looks like huge pawn here. Just that's not doing something great, but anyway. Okay, bishop g4, he missed this pin. You need to be sure you are not blundering anything if even opponent has really good square advantage. This should be a really good move, why not? Probably rook a1 he can go, and what should I play? Can I defend this? Kavine, show you come back. Yes, we can play, bro. After this game, send me challenge. But first, because new if is waiting so long time, I think there is can't be bad if I play with him first. Let's over defend the bishop. We could even take this free bishop, but I mean that weren't free. Because I will get mate from a7, that's why I'm trying to defend. He can actually take g7, trade the queens, he should be up a pawn, but queenside parts should be weak squares for him. Okay, what can I take? He missed his bishop here. Just he was trying after this trade continue to pressure on a7, but you know that didn't happen. So I couldn't watch for few days cause of school. No problem, bro. You ended your school, okay? I ended my university about 1 hour, 1 month in first grade. Now we can castle bishop was very good defended. Okay, c3 to defend this pawn. Hello bro, how are you? I can double the rooks and try to take, probably I can't do now. And I can even move the bishop. Because from here will be checkmate, or even not checkmate because queen f8 just sacrifice the queen. Okay, he's trying to protect his pawn on b2, but you know, he's bringing his rook and queen in a very bad square about that if he even try. Probably he missed that en passant, or not. Wait. After all this, queen a8 check and okay, I have queen f8. If that weren't just, I was gonna lose. And okay, we are winning here. Let's try to take these pawns, and his queen should be tricky, so we don't need so much overextended position over here. Queen c5. Let's be sure we are not getting backreg checkmate and play g6. g6 because my bishop can protect these dark squares. Okay, f2 can be overpressured from me. Here, this is gonna be made after some moves or not. Queen c8 check and then check from c3. The rook is actually under attack. Let's trade the queens. We are getting new queen here just from this passed pawn. I cut his king from that d-file which my pawn is trying to go. And I'm gonna do the spree moves. That should be made after how many? Probably 7 or 8 moves. This gonna work for sure. Okay, really good mate. New e5, I'm waiting for your challenge. If anyone wants to play, send me friend request. I promised new e5, please. Okay, let's accept. What opening should we play? Probably modern opening should be great. Bishop g7, okay. And then d6, c5 or even e5 can be moved. Let's see what we need to play. I would like this position to play a5, but if you have a pressure a5, that should be a little bit hard for me. And the idea is to open this diagonal, so my bishop can push that diagonal very well. Knight d7 and a5, just knight c6 he can kick or some moves, you know. c3 a really good move from him, just my bishop is protected from 3 pawns here, and I can't get some advantage somehow. Anyway, I'm wondering to go a5. I think I can. Tete Fiera, can I play next? It's me, Maserati. Yes, bro, I will play next one with you. Let's get this straight. Probably that should be some trade, and I'm trying to open this bishop line because, you know, in endgame, if I keep that bishop, that should be great. But I think after this trade, he can trade the queens and I can castle. But when your king isn't that much safe, but queens are traded, you don't need to worry too much about that. f6 can be moved, but because I'm trying to castle on king side, that should be overextended. When you move your pawn on g6, you don't need to open f5 and so on. I mean, you can, but that should be really aggressive. And if you know you can't get out from here, and even when you are playing a little bit higher rated players, then you don't need to play f6 or even f5. You reject it, why? I said I'm gonna play first one with new e5 because he waited so long time, and then I'm gonna play with you. Okay? And I went f5, that's a little bit aggressive, but because I saw his position is gonna just, you know, his pieces I can kick and probably take some advantage from, for example, a4. Just that will be fork, if not, somehow I can try to f4 and his bishop in a very bad place, so I'm blocking the bishop with f5 e5 and forcing his white square bishop to go back. He can even go back the knight, but so I'm winning a tempo, and so I have really good center. And probably I can bring my bishop from b7 here, because I need to bring the knight, for example, on f6 or c5 can be worked, but just before I need to go back, or even if he protects a4, I don't know. That's why I'm trying to bring my bishop on this diagonal, which that should do really great job. Let's wait how he can answer this move. But a4, his dark square bishop will be great, but actually his white square bishop can bring on p3 and have this really good diagonal. And at the time I would have to kick his figures back. a4 don't work because he would have another really great bishop. Okay, let's play bishop b7, and actually still my king is safe, so I don't need to hurry and try to castle here. Now even I can't. But no problem, that's why you need to keep your d7 pawn. Push it forward and so on. I went f5 and I know that should be a little bit hard for castle. But anyway, my king side is overreacting. So what I'm trying to do? Okay, really great move. Am I missed something or not? From f7 he's trying to pin and actually not on a fork, and my queen can be hanged, just I can't protect it. If he goes somehow, that's closed even. I need to attack on his bishop here just to disturb him. But how can I? All that squares, he's very lucky player, I will say. All that squares are closed for jumping there, and if rook f8, just h7 should be hang. How can I defend some other way? Here, and I need to sacrifice the rook or not for defending that. Could move the left rook maybe. Yes, but where? Rook j8 won't work, rook f8, just h7. And my rook will have only one square to go back, and that should be same thing. But I'm afraid that knight f7, just my queen will be trapped. This can't move. Yes, even I'm thinking that rook sacrifice also can help me. Okay, let's wait until he will go knight f7, queen c8, and I will take the knight with my bishop on g7. And for that I don't need to lose any tempo. Just bishop b7 is great, and I will say because he should be up exchange there. For example, what is doing his rook on h1 or a1. I'm gonna say my bishop is great, and even if I try to open his queen side, another bishop should be same as this now. And even he can't just control g2. He can castle to protect, but because even d5 is protected. Okay, I would like to go c5 and double my queen and my bishop, and g2 is a little bit hard for defend. Probably at that time he can go queen f3, or if he see lot of moves, just knight d2 and f3 will be great. We will see what he will gonna play. He pinned this, but there is no problem, sure. Is he miss anything or not? Just he could take the rook, he didn't, but I'm happy to see that. If he trades, just should be same thing, even his knight should be almost trapped, but knight g5 is disturbing. Bishop a6, I don't think that's gonna work. Just what is he trying to do? I mean, this pawn could be hang on a5. If he takes with the knight, that should be pin. I can't take, but my bishop is protecting. So if he even takes with a bishop, okay, I will trade my rooks for 2 pieces, and even my position at that time should be great. Let's wait what he will gonna play. Knight back. Okay, this pawn is under attack, but no problem. g2 is hang, and even f4 we will trade. If not, just f5 should be open. h7 is hang, but I don't care about that pawn. Let's go f4. Just because my rook on f8 is doing a great job, I can't say about his rooks, and I didn't castle yet. So I'm gonna open the rook. And if I can, probably knight c5 and so on. We will see, we have really great position. Just I need 2 or 3 moves to bring my king on queen side, and that should be okay. c5, c6, that's the idea. At that time, okay, that also should be overextended, but this diagonal should be great. What is he trying to do? Okay, that should be a mistake from him, because he's trading his 2 pieces with my rook, and you know, that's not the best trade you can get here. Just he could take exchange, but he prefers to trade his 2 pieces with my rook. And even endgame, middle game, all that just... Okay, even extra pawn here. Two pieces are doing great job, then one rook. Greetings from Malaysia. Okay, greetings from Armenia. You are my first viewer from Malaysia. Really interesting. Well, he can't take... okay. You saw that move. Really bad. What should we play here? Just... he fought very much moves and, you know, one last time he blundered. He threw his game away, and I will say that should be a really great game from him. Kuala Lumpur. What that means? That's from a Malaysia language, yes? Okay, he hangs his bishop. He played great, but just... I think time pressure. Where would you like the WCC to be held? What is WCC? Let's trade the rooks, that's not a problem, I can't castle. Just, he has only 3 pieces, which isn't that much active to create some threats in my position. Capital of Malaysia? I didn't know about that city so much, but yes, I love traveling, that should be interesting. How to not get exhausted when thinking too much. I don't know, even I am plundering some like that for chess championship. Okay. Yes, that should be great. I don't know about your city so much, but I would like to know. Can you say why they need to hold that WCC in your city? Is there any reason you want to hold that? That should be interesting, or just that should be really also comfort. What are you thinking about that? Okay, let's get this straight. You are overthinking. You need to just calculate 3 or 4 moves when you are seeing there is no much you need to think. I think that's the reason. In simple positions, you don't need to think so hard. And save your time to just think very hard position like endgame, or which end, I will say endgame, which you were down a queen, but you played really great middle game and opening. Just you see, you didn't need to trade 2 pieces with my rook. Probably he wanted to remove my defender on king side, I mean the rook, but anyway. Well, who wants to play? Kavinesh, are you here? I should have taken the rook. Yes, I don't think. Just you could go knight f7 and take the rook here. Okay, I'm waiting. Who wants to play? Well, let's play with him rematch. Which opening can we play? He's playing really good Vienna. I would try to do that. How to make plan in middle game. In middle game, you need to just bring your all pieces activity. Just in middle game, your rooks you can double or open some files for them. That should be a really great idea. And now see how I'm gonna play my middle game and take lesson from there. Try to bring your pieces activity, also the least active piece. The rooks and the queen should do great job on middle game, also you can use them on end game some positions. So see, I'm trying to go d4, c3 idea to go d4 and get it straight to have really great center. I don't even know Vienna. Yes, you can just learn endgames and you will cook your opponent in opening. You don't need to learn opening so much. Also, middle game is also important. Knight f3, and what if bring the bishop out? I'm a little bit worried about a4, but because d4 is unprotected, my knight will be centralized there. Just if he defends that, I'm not sure my pawn structure should be destroyed there. But anyway, what if d3? d3 I will try to bring the bishop, or... okay, not now, because g2 I should hang that. Which I don't need to do that. My knight is under attack and I can't protect it from him to take. Okay, let's go back and d3. Just I'm gonna miss this g2 pawn anyway, and I'm forgetting that, but if I can create some threat, just probably that should be a good idea, why not? And I'm trying to bring my pieces into the game. Okay, I'm happy to see this trade. Just his bishop was doing a great job. Probably he needed to go bishop on b6 to keep that. f2 is weakness for me. And even his queen isn't protecting g2, so we can go d3 or even d4. I think d4, because d3 he could just probably try to push this pawn forward and bring the rook somehow. That should be really tricky. But I'm just cutting his queen from my pawn, and if he takes, that should be a great job here, why not? My bishop will jump immediately, he will lose the move to take, and you know, in his move I will get activity by himself, I will say. In the next move I'm gonna castle. Rook check, bishop a3, and probably some move that knight g4 can work. And what if you ever pressure the bishop on e3? There is no other way I can protect. Bishop e2, okay, that can work, but I don't want to bring my bishop on a little bit bad square, so I will play two moves with my bishop. In the opening you don't need to do that. So we are slowly going to middle game, and I have really great bishops. So in the next move I can bring my knight on a3 or d2. I mean d2 because the idea should be if knight a3, knight c4 and have really great central squares, but on c4 he can kick easily or some moves that I don't like. But knight e2 I have really good chances to bring on f3, a4 and some positions where I like. That's why you need to centralize your pieces. Knight g4 can be actually moved. Just I can't take the queen. You should see that. After this trade I'm trying probably knight g4, but if I take the pawn, but first I need to protect the bishop. He will take a pawn and my king side should be ruined. He can sacrifice the pawn on h7, but anyway that should be a little bit aggressive. Probably he didn't want to do that. Let's wait. I can castle and bring the knight because somehow we can pressure this g2 pawn and also some double attacks with his queen, which is really typical and middle game. Opponent bringing the queen and attacking some even 3. Let's wait how we what is he gonna play. Okay, how I said. a3 is hang, so if I move my queen I will lose the bishop. That was the idea. H file is open, and if he takes, I think the next move bishop d3. Or even can I castle? I think I can just, I would have really great position. I shouldn't be down a pawn. We'll say the pawns, and actually h file is open. I can ping the rook, and you know his kingside pawns aren't protected here. So king h1, I'm seeing this position. I can even do that pre-moves. Just you can even take the rook, and but if your opponent is a little bit low ready, you can use this open check note, take with the queen right away and take with the rook. Because my f2 can't be there, and you know, some open attacks, which he can miss. Even some high-rated players in bullet games, he's sacrificing the rook and he's trying to take with a knight, but he doesn't need to take with the knight. Because queen f2 and I am following, he can't check. Just if he checks, probably that should be some tricky move to take my queen, but you know that won't work. Why you don't take the queen? Take the queen? Because rook was pinned my bishop, and that's why I can't take. Probably he saw that he's gonna fork my rook and queen, that's why he sacrificed the rook on a3. But you know queen f2, and that should be all, if he takes with the knight. Tal move, if it's right, I saw in Gotham. Yes. And okay, he took with a queen, there is no difference. Can't be any trick, yes? Okay, in the next move I will, what should I play? Probably take the pawn, because from f8 I can try to mate. And if it's not, just we'll see. Okay, no problem. How much is your reload? Your queen is there, I can't happen. Can't happen. Yes, my queen is doing a great job. That's why I'm trying to centralize all my pieces here. Now, what can black play? Actually, queen h6 can be a really great move. Let's see if he can see that or not. Queen h6, he will try to mate from h2, and also my bishop should be under attack. And if he notices, that should be good. 500. Really good. I have very much viewers with 500. If you want, we can play. You know, I can't take f7 because I would get backrack checkmate, and he has enough time to bring his pieces out and also defend his king side. Bishop e6, also try to pressure on queen side, wouldn't be mistake there. To defend f7, and somehow I haven't black square bishop, and otherwise I will try to pressure g7. Well, he's gonna take the bishop. Okay, if he takes the bishop, his knight should be hang, and like now I should be up exchange. But down a pawn or not? I believe not. Because f7 is actually should be hang. In rapid is like 250, I think near 300. No problem. Just, I mean, your calculation is a little bit worse. That should be problem. Black has made, yes, black had made on h2. That's why I went h3, and you know his rook weren't his knight weren't under attack because that's pin, and that's a fork. What if queen b3? If he takes the rook, or I need to keep my bishop with protect. Okay, I'm up exchange, there is no problem if he takes the rook. Black had mate with horse and queen. Yes, they had actually. And actually queen h7, queen h6 is a really great move because he's trying to take the bishop and h2 is trying to make really great move. That's why I'm saying you need to see that two attacking ideas moves. Mate in 3. He has mate in 3 or I have. If he sacrificed the bishop, if I take, yes, that should be mate in 3. If I take, but I'm not gonna take. Before this, where is mate here? In this position, from me or from him, mate? Which move after he could mate, and let's see. To trap your king with the rook. Here mate in 3, but how? Check? Or how he could mate there? Write in the comments, please. But I play from like Marmov, I learned a lot. From Marmov, one move that's really crazy when you reach 500. I know very much people when they are playing about 1 year and they are rarely getting 500. Really crazy. You can get some rating, just continue to play. Before too much wait, I will try to explain. Okay, I will be happy. We know you will win in the end. Yes, your time is actually getting lower. But even I can't trade, you know, g2 is defended, he can't mate. Take, here, check. He can even make a draw, I believe. Is it worth or not? And what should I play? Even g2 is hang and I need to also defend g2. What if rook f2, but he can sum up an attack and take my queen. That should be the idea. What if king g1, he can't check and rook f7? Or that also should be fork. Even a8 is protected and he's being really forward from that tempo because you know his queenside was really close there. Okay, let's take anyway. Before he played queen h6, he should have played horse f2, then h3, then check with queen. Okay, let's see that position. Horse f2. Yes, but I could sacrifice the rook here. Here, yes, that's actually should be really great mate. But because I am up exchange and I saw he's gonna play queen h6 and take the bishop. You know one figure is worth then when you are taking exchange. Queen g3 can make just draw here if he wants. Just if he don't want, he can take the bishop and we will continue this game. Who wants to play? Yes, thank you for saying about that to me. That was really good idea, you know. I made it my opponent somehow with that trap. Who wants to play? Say me on the chat and I will wait for you. There is a reason why you 2100 elo. Yes, can be. Now I'm trying to go queen f3 and bring my rook on h1. His queen should be pinned, but only that's not the idea, you know. If I get h5, I can do whatever I want, I will say. This pawn is hang, but I'm a little bit afraid to play position like this. My king side is just ruined there. Okay, why rook g8? That should be only mistake that he played in his whole game. Just, that's not doing anything. Just he is hanging pawns and don't try to mate from h2, that won't work. And even you need to follow the checks, and I'm sure he hasn't any check there. I'm up so much pawns I can't even take a7, or I can't even try to get some trades here, because that's, I will say, winning endgame for me. He has 2 pawns and here I'm up only 1 pawn, but my pawn structures are with each other. That's why that should be winning. For me and not for him. Okay, his time is getting lower. Queen g2, he has check from f3. Let's be sure that shouldn't be bad for me. King f2, rook f8. Okay, can trade the queens. If not, I can bring the knight forward. Okay, if I take check, I'm happy to see this pawn on g7 is right there, because if he checks, just my queen should be lost. Hello, my fellow chess player. What means fellow? Sorry, fellow in chat. Let me translate. Okay. I translated it. Thank you for that. Hello, brother. How are you? Okay, our king is safe here. Knight g3 to defend all this. I am new. Ager Ibal. Hello, bro. Okay, I translated that. We are gonna be made after some moves, you know. He played really great this one. And rook h1 will come here. He played very well also. I'm wondering I can even blunder mate here. Is he getting flight alter? Very lol. Yes, I spent so much time actually. What should I play? Can I send him draw offer? He played grid. Okay, let's wait in the next move. I will do that. Okay, he's gonna take the rook, and because for time pressure. I know he would gonna. You know, let's send him draw offer and see what will happen here. Okay, he had only 2 seconds, but that was crazy game. And even in time pressure, he played very well, find some moves that also I should get lost here. Yes, but also he's spending so much time for that opening and then end middle game. You need to keep your time for that end game more. Brighton, he's good player. Yes, that player was actually new. e5 is my moderator. He played really cool. I am low rated. Yes, you saw he was actually 700, and as my blitz rating, his blitz rating also is so low. But he played great, I will say. 7 against 21 was definitely cheating. No, I don't think he cheated. He's playing great, but you know, if I analyze that game, we both should get 70 or 80% good moves only. Just I'm not sure he cheated. I can analyze that game, and I did it so much times when I suspect my opponent can cheat, but okay, I will analyze that game if you want, and I will say how much percent he played through. Okay, after this game I'm gonna do analyze, but we will see. We can trade. In this position he needs to take with a queen, because I'm trying to damage his pawn structure, and that damage should be with queen trade, because our queens are traded. There can't be any threat in his position. If not, just queen h5, h2 should be a really hang for him. You being too polite and nice, which I appreciate. Thank you for that, bro. Appreciate that too. Let's analyze my favorite part. Yes, I will do that. I am sacrificing a pawn, but you know that's temporary because rook a8, and how can he defend this pawn? Also, like this, I am damaging his pawn structure. The idea is bishop h6. What should I play? g6, I will get him really good diagonal for his bishop, but actually I can move the rook and bishop f8. If that bishop weren't there, just probably in endgames after some trades from the rooks, you know, that should be hard to giving these dark squares, which should be very weak if I don't have this dark square bishop. That's why I'm trying to keep, and that's why he's trying to attack on my king side. Also, he's plundering his queen side pawns, and the good thing that should be I'm having passed pawn here, so I'm trying to take his pawn attack, the knight and so on. We have a record of 19-2 where both times you resigned because you had to go. Yes, I know. I remember that time. If I take the knight, his pawns should be great and not double there. But what should I play? Knight h5, he will take, and because for pin I can't take it back. And also if he pawns well on a4, he can push, and you know, my bishop should be really bad placed here. What if I defend with my bishop? Bishop a7, okay. And then after this trade happened, I can be even happier about that. Rook a8, or his bishop is protecting so good on that weak pawns, and he has to isolate it and just, you know, two doubled pawns. That's why I'm trying to get some advantage from his weak pawns. But that's very hard, and realize if his bishop weren't on e3, that all should be lost, these pawns. Anyway, I'm trying to trick him. If he takes, f takes or h takes, and that shouldn't be problem, just I'm trying to take his pawns there. c5 trade, I should be down a pawn there. How he can defend this really weak position? Just his pawns aren't doing anything. Rook where? Probably b3 if I am pinning his bishop from that pawn on f3, because somehow if he goes anywhere, just he will lose this pawn, because I'm bringing huge pressure on that third file. So he needs to keep his bishop how long as he can. If not, just if I take the pawn, that's not only about the pawn. Some really good squares that I will get here. And also kingside attack, and you know. Okay, that's still defended. One more game, please, if possible. Yes, that's possible. Next one we'll play, but please send me blitz. Rapid games we are playing very much, I will say. Now I'm trying to bring my rook on his king side, and h5. What if double the rooks? Okay, I have only 6 seconds. But the good thing is after why I will resign, because there is impossible to win in 6 seconds. d5 can happen. d5 to bring bishop on c5. Okay, I missed. He could also bring his bishop like that. I forgot about that. Ready to lose in blitz. Yes, I know your blitz skills isn't the best. I will say your rapid is Very much good than your blitz, like mine. f4 is a threat I'm trying to pin. Okay, he can't pin. He can move the king and... Okay, I don't think he can move the king because his bishop have to jump on that f4. He missed that or... okay, I lost on time. Just I was thinking king h5, but I realized he has rook h7 mate there. Very bad. Okay, new if sent me challenge. If anyone wants to place, you can also send the challenge too. Yes, let's analyze our game here. Let's see how many percent he get at that time. Probably you can't see that, but I will say. What are you thinking how much that should be? I mean 80 or 85. Mine too, because that was a draw. I think there can't be any much difference here. Okay, how I said, I got 71% accuracy and he had 78% accuracy. He did also brilliant move. Let's see, it's brilliant. Actually, rook sacrifice is a brilliant move and in this position he was better, right? Just because queen h6 and he missed it, because I'm going to be good there. I didn't realize he would find this move, that's why just 92 played from me. Okay, and something here. Just let's reach a position where he's doing that blunder. Okay, he didn't, I did. Just king back should be idea. Hello Faris Nasser. How are you? How is going from YouTube? Is your channel growth or not? Subscribe his channel, he's making really funny videos. And also really interesting. Okay, what I did. Okay, that was mouse click. I'm gonna play next one with Todd FX. What is happening here? Yes, really good. That's keep adding videos. Okay, Todd FX send me challenge one more time. I sent blitz. Yes, I know, but you know that was mouse click. I did it accidentally. Can you send or not? Or I need to send? Probably you send it more than 3 times. But anyway, let's see that. Except I sent it. Well, let's play here. And what should we play? I would like to bring my bishop on d6. And so his bishop is doing a great job. I don't know how can I take if he trade, but I think bishop g3, okay, he played that. But if he takes, if I take with a pawn a5 can be possible. e5 and, you know, have really good center. When you are bringing your pawn on a5, that should be a great idea. I can trade, or even not. I'm not happy to see this h file is gonna open. But anyway, I will play like King's Indian when black are playing g6, bring the bishop and f5. I will play with queenside. That's very looks like that, but also I like this c5 move. What if knight c6? Because knight d7 and somehow pawn move forward, just my bishop on d6 should be unprotected. In this position you need to take with a bishop if you want too much, because knight takes you should get fork. Don't get this. That's really famous trap and probably you blunder that sometimes. I'm trying to go f6, that was the idea, knight a4. I can take the bishop, but you know from h7 he has really great attack. I don't care about that if he takes and my pawns should gonna double, because f5 I can defend that, but first let's kick the knight. Is that knight trapped or not? I think only move to take the knight and get trade, because knight g4 just h5 here. He will lose that if he plays some other move. What is Greek sacrifice? I keep forgetting. Greek sacrifice, what is that? If I take the knight first, just he's gonna take with the pawn and my bishop should be under attack and he would have enough time to bring his bishop back. But if I take the bishop, his two pieces are under attack. And you need to hang so much pieces in his position as you can. But the good move should be that if he takes the knight on c6. Because my queen should be under attack, I have to take and then he would have enough time to bring the knight. Okay, thank you for saying that. My rating on Blitz is just a little bit lower, but I reached 2000 and 2200 as rapid. Just I am 2100 rating in rapid just now, but my Blitz is going very bad, I don't know why. Okay, I think now you can hear me. What should I play? What he took from me, d4 pawn. Okay, I sacrificed the knight and I'm going some open attack, for example, take the rook, or that should be open attack. Can you play with me? Okay, I was saying, but my microphone was off. Yes, bro, find me on chess.com and send me challenge. For sure I will play with you. And send me friend request, so we will play. I am gonna probably win this game after some moves. Okay, he resigned because he knows just his king can't move and knight d5 and queen d5 should be made. Okay, I'm waiting for your challenges. Or am I need to play one more game before that? Prashant Jadhav, you can send me challenge, yes, we can play. I had one blunder in previous game, I should have taken the knight. The knight? Yes, actually. You are not playing the Alien Gambit, ain't you? I played Alien Gambit, bro. No, I played that. I sacrificed the knight on f7. If you want, you can see that on from my stream. I sacrificed that and actually check from g5. That's a position where I sacrificed my knight. And take it on a6, that's why he lost so bad there. Okay, bro, I had a challenge before that and we don't play 10 minutes, I promise. I will be play really fast here and after that I will play with you. Okay? He's trying to win me and actually he won 2 times, or I sent him draw offer. I'm not sure about that, but anyway. 1% Barewach Berjan. Love brother Stuvances. You know, I feel I can improve rating in rapid, but they come with cheeky YouTube traps and I keep getting trapped. Just I'm saying, if you learn end games very good, you can't blunder in the openings on that traps from YouTube. Okay, let's get these trades and I'm not gonna take this pawn. I will wait until he will take. But I'm trying to trap him. Let's see if he's gonna see that or not. This c6 is under attack. But I'm trying to take this pawn on d4. You will see why. Probably he missed anything. I'm not saying that right now, but let's see. Traps is the worst way to rate up. Yes, really. Take with a queen, please. Okay, I trapped him. I said that I know how much is your rating and how much mistake you are gonna do. That's why I know if his rating were on 1200, I know which mistake he gonna play. And he took the pawn, I trapped his queen. Very good, that's already should be winning for me. He resigned. Ibrahim, I am waiting for your challenge. Did you send me or not? Okay, let's play one more game with him and send friend request. If there is any problem, I will send you challenge. Okay, I got your challenge here. 1300. Oh, that's your chess logo is just... I know your chess logo. That looks like Alex Bayramian. He's my friend, and his YouTube channel logo is like that too. Բարև աղբեր ջան։ Ինչ կա լավ ես։ I am online always. If no one is there, send me. Okay. I will play one time with Ibrahim and we will see. Probably I'm gonna play with you after this. He had really good trap here, you know. He played a5 and tried to use this pin to take the knight, but I went bishop on a7 in time. And I'm gonna castle. This pawn is also hang, but anyway, I don't like to do that so fast. Բարև աղբեր ջան, ձենս չի գալիս, ձենս չի լսվում։ What should I play here? Is my microphone okay or not? Can you hear me or not? I think yes. Write in the chat, please. Let's bring the rook, and because I can't move my bishop. Now I can. Yes, that should be just straight, but his knight is actually doing a great job here. Well, but actually we can bring the knight bishop b7, d7, there is no problem. Probably b7 force him to take. Why I'm saying force, because you know c5 and this diagonal should be open. I could take, he will bring his queen, but anyway. If I take, I will lose the pawn. I will lose, but after g6 I'm gonna take the pawn on f4. Really a risky move, but anyway I'm gonna play that. Or even I could check, that should be the right idea. Please take with a bishop so I can check from h4 and you can't castle. How much writing I should have in rapid according to you if I fully focus in my all games? I think if you play 30-minute rapid and focus all your moves, I mean, not lower than 1500 for sure. I'm getting really much trouble when I'm playing with you. Well, I can't take the queen, you know. It is even going out from that pin. I'm wondering queen h4 check and his king can't castle. Just... Okay, that's not a threat, but you know I lost the pawn here. Am I happy to see that or not? That can be sound crazy, but... Anyway, this diagonal should be mine because I'm gonna trade the rooks here. And... you know, his king also should be in trouble. My king still has really good defense. Why is sacrifice? Okay, thank you for that. After 5 days, that should be okay. I said that 1 minute. Okay, that should be moving in game. I said that I'm gonna play with you, but that seems you weren't on chess.com. I was waiting for your challenge, new e5. Let's bring the bishop here. Also, there is some good diagonals that I couldn't jump with my bishop. We can get this and queen c7 probably. In these positions I would like to play queen b6, but you know, some open attacks if you even don't take. In how many months I can get more than 1200 rating? Yes. I think that my sound is okay. 1200 rating, I think you can get in how many? Probably in 3 months if you want a little bit faster. You can even do it on 2 months, because I didn't play chess so much time, and when I played chess I reached 2000 from 1500. That actually can happen if you want to have a 500 rating, but you know that's not easy. Just try to not blunder anything and play rapid some very much times. I think that should be really good if you try to. I will try to improve. Yes. If you try to play rapid, I think you can play really good in your rapid game. And you will get faster 1200 then I will say blitz. Okay, anyway, let's get our rook on second rank, get some trade here. His bishop isn't doing anything. The knight on c5 will do great job. The thing is, sometimes I beat 1000 rated players, sometimes messed up in 300, I can't even imagine. Yes, that can be, that's all about one mistake move you are made. At this time you don't need to just play c3, what I did. Knight a4 actually happened, and it is time you don't need find move where can I go back, and c3. Now this c3 pawn is where it didn't just protect it. You need to be careful about that, because knight e4 and then b5, but I saw that squares are closed, so I would have enough time to bring this pawn on d4, and actually his bishop can't attack, and his knight is in a really great position, but somehow that can't move. That was his only move that he can move, but actually he's down 2 pawns. Now 1, but even I'm happy to see this a file is open. Did you ever find a windmill? What is that? What is windmill? can we play 2-1? I wanna try against you. Yes, we will play. After this, send me challenge. Yes, I saw some windmills. I translated that. His pawn is gonna lose. Okay, mine too. But anyway, I'm still up a pawn. I can try to knight g4 and mate from a1. That should be crazy if you didn't see that. Actually, my time... okay, what I did? Just I thought I'm gonna take the bishop with a check somehow. I didn't realize I did that. Anyway. Windmill in chess where you checked with 2 rook on second rank and bishop is pinning. What? With 2 rook and on second rank and bishop is pinning. Oh, no, I didn't in that position. But really interesting thing you are saying. Բարև ախպեր ջան, հաջորդեք ու հետ եմ. That was really bad move. I can't understand why he played that. That was the pin and he couldn't get out from here. Probably because my time is a little bit lower. He's trying to time me out. Search windmill in chess. Yes, I will do that. First, let's win this crazy game. My time is running and he misses that pawn and he's gonna miss another one and another one. Okay, I'm sacrificing this pawn. What general? Well, I will see that, and in my next stream, I will tell you about that. Well, I'm waiting for challenge. Who wants to play? The bishop 23-12. Please wait until I will play one game and we will play one more time, okay? Yes, I didn't play with Heikbek today, so let's play with him and new e5 next time gonna play with you. c4 I don't play this so much, I prefer just d4. But anyway, that's not a mistake, we can get some trades here and actually have really great position. If I not take knight c3, if he takes that should be great, but d4 he will kick that so badly. So I don't want to play 2 moves in a row with just one figure. That's where it looks like Scandinavian defense here. Bishop a2, and at this time I can bring my bishop somewhere, my knight somewhere and attack on his queen. But let's be sure we are not castling and move the knight. Don't get made here, you understand? d4 and my knight can jump on a5 because he can't take with a queen. Knight a5 can be really great, why not? Yes, still he can take, but after queen a5 probably. He should have 2 attackers, but f4 that should be overprotected. I was sending challenge between, I was saying, can I send you a daily challenge when you have to move once in one day? Okay, a really great idea. Just you can think how much you want and that should be a really great game. I will accept that. Next one I'm playing with you, prepare after this, send me. Here, can I pin this? It can take... That should be just straight, I believe. Yes, that's why we need to castle here. Okay, my voice is okay, right? Bishop d3, I can try then to take the queen, but You know, my queen should be under attack. I can even try queen c2, bishop t3, but I don't like that. I would like to bring my bishop on d3 and somehow bring my queen on h5. Like queen from this diagonal and bishop the other. That's why I want f4 on d4, because if he takes, I'm gonna take with f4 pawn and have really good diagonal for my rook. I think he lost. That's a pin. He can't bring his another piece forward and try to win that. Or defend, I will say. c5. Okay, that would work. He's gonna lose 2 bishops, probably. Okay, that wasn't pin, that's... I missed he can take, but anyway. That was mouse click. Now that's a cool game, I will say. He has bunch of pawns there, but his rooks aren't doing anything. I was trying to take with a check and bring my rook safety. Rook and bishop are doing a great job on that endgame. That's why you need to keep that figures. Queen, I would like to go a7, that now won't work, but what if take on c6 and then from d7 mate? Okay, check won't work. His rook should be under attack, and plus I will try to mate him. Don't hang so much threats there. Okay, he's protecting, but anyway, his another rook was hang, and that leads to checkmate there. New e5, I'm waiting for your challenge. Okay. And which opening should we play? d6 isn't the best, but anyway. I will play like modern defense. Knight d7 and a5. a5 can be possible, but I know that after this trade it should be queen trade. My queen will be in center. Why not c5? c5 is actually in some positions really great move. When a5 weren't over defended, I would try even to go a5. Here's b2 is under attack. I'm trying to bring in my pieces activity and actually attack on his pieces to force him some moves. Yes, I don't need to take. If he takes, my bishop should be in this free diagonal, and I would like to have my knight on b6. So let's just get some activation. c5 is over defended. I don't care if one protector from here can on b6. I can take and a4 e4 if my knight just wants there, but I don't think that should be a great idea. I am wondering some like a5. Okay, he castled queenside, so I'm gonna break that. e6. I'm afraid that he can trade the queens and take the pawn on d6, and then c5 should be hang. What should I play here? Let's push this pawn. I would like to go even d5. e6, d5 should be the best, but after queen takes, this d6 should be undefended. Եղավ Հայկ ջան, անունդ մոռացել է, հիշում եմ, որ Արմեն չի, բայց դե համար անուն չէի տարի, չէ? Կարող է շփոթված Արմեն եմ ասել։ Եղավ Հայկ ջան։ Այստեղ էլ էր ուզում խաղալ, եթե ուզում ես հաջորդ հելիքու հետ կխաղամ։ Let's force him queen trade, and if even queen back, Just my queen should be active on b5. I will try to bring the rook and so on. a5 will be really good move from him. He's overprotecting a5 and actually he will damage my pawn structure like that. But after this trade I am having really great positional advantage here. Bring my figures on queenside. Should be great idea after all these trades. Rook b8, I don't like to keep my rook on that pin because you know if he takes I can't take it back. d6 should be hang. Հայմ вообще-то եթե հարմար չի կարանք չխաղանք էլ ես զուտ կհամարեմ են որ ասեմ. He did right to open this d file for him because that's completely he's protecting there, but bishop c7, why? He's protecting the knight and I would like to bring my knight on d5, but he hasn't any square that he can jump. He needs to bring back how fast he could because now his knight can't move. I could take this pawn on a4, but I'm trying to win the knight. The knight can't move and that's protected from the bishop. I will try to attack on his bishop with probably knight e8. Yes, if bishop run, just knight should be hang. And if it's don't run, his two pieces should be hang. I will say lost. Really good tactic here. What are you thinking about this? Yes, that probably was completely unnecessary. Probably some positional advantage, but even with this move he's blocking his bishop from going back, and I believe d6. Yes, his rook is actually defending, but if he tries to push that pawn forward. Okay, as white I would play bishop d6 to at least have this passed pawn. Vanadzor is Haikshon. I said that he need to keep the knight here just... Yes, he could take, but anyway, why he missed his bishop? Bishop d6 should be moved there. That's probably because for time pressure. And I would like to hang his rook with king e8. How much squares he can jump? Probably one of that, this b7. From b7, b5 should be under attack, and what if my rook from c8 go b8 because another rook I can't jump? a7 should be unprotected, but that rook isn't doing anything when we are speaking about to block his rook and take that. But now f7 is hang. h6, I will force him to take with the knight, because if it's not just, you know, his rook and knight should be under attack. But let's try to trick him. I believe if he takes with the knight king a8, he's actually a rook and knight should be under attack. Knight takes king e8, or before that even I could play rook b8, and how we can get out this rook from my position. Okay, that's a way, but f6 is defended. What's classical chess? Classical chess is like when you are playing 1 hour and 30 minutes and in every move you have 30 seconds plus. Դու առաջի կարգեիր տենց եմ հիշում, հա, առաջի եմ ես այլ ռեցինք կհանեմ. Probably I don't need to do something about this knight from h7. We can even attack on his queen side. That should be really tricky. Okay, and if he takes the pawn from c3, he will get this fork, which he missed because his time is actually running so fast. Well, his time ran out, so this position was Well, losing for him. But anyway, let's get from here. We are pushing the pawn and probably a rook on b file. Or even d file because b file is protected. Okay, really great. Armencan, Armen Aseli, Haikcan, Jortukut. GG's. Well, thank you for that. If you want to play, send me challenge. I will play with you too. But first, let's play with Armen Beginyan. Haikcan Varkamas. Well, let's wait some seconds and start new game. b6, I don't recommend this opening so much when you are low rated, that you are completely giving him the center. But anyway, I don't like that move too much, but there is some trap you can use in your position. Okay, that was a luck here. Okay, we'll play b6 as black, and we will see what will happen. e6, d5 can be moves here. I wasn't watching how was my game. Yes, you can see that now, I know. We are going to get this straight. If not, okay, f6. I'm trying to open my bishop away, and that should be great attack on his king side, probably. Bishop b4. c5 can be great, that should be a little bit overextended. I still don't like to bring my knight from g8 because, you know, if he takes, I would have to take with a pawn here. After this trade, what should happen? I should lose a pawn or not? I think not. Well, and even that's why he took the pawn first. His pawns should be double, that's why. We are having really great, and that's why he's trying to trade, and really great job. Knight d7, also I'm protecting f6, and at this time I can bring my another knight on e7, and don't worry about f6. And I will say a5 with hang, and probably I even forcing him to take that. Let's take with the knight on f6 because I realize knight on a7 wants to great job. Then another knight on d7 because somehow c4 knight here, just that should be right move. Right tactic there. Queen b6. Just this diagonal is still open for him, and that won't be easy to protect. And even if you don't even try, if I can just knight g4, my knight should do really great activity there. That's mistake. I saw 0.5 second. His knight is under attack and his rook is under attack. Before overextended, which is the most hilarious thing you can do in chess. Be sure you are not blundering anything. We can take the bishop actually, which is protecting f4, and what if we get f4? Like, I would be happy if I check from h4. If I take, his queen should be active a little bit. So still I don't like that. What if c4 sacrifice? Probably the pawn or not? Or a5? The knight is defended, let's don't care about that, and I'm trying to open this f file here. Actually, his king can't escape on the center or even queenside. That's why I'm trying to open and bring the queen to rook. That should be a good game after some moves if my plans works. Let's see how can we get from here. He has really bad kingside weakness here. Also some dark squares I am saying about this diagonal, which I'm gonna use and try to win him. What is he trying to do? Okay. I can't pin at that time. Let's pin the knight and take it back. Let's bring the rook back, because if the queen just, he could go queen e2 and that should be all. But queen e2, okay, no difference. Just this knight is gonna hang. There I sacrificed a piece because I saw 5 or 6 moves that I'm gonna take it back. He hasn't any defense about that. And what I'm up rook because he sacrificed that from that spin, and if he takes... Okay, I'm about to say that should be mistake and he did that. His bishop was hang here. Okay, GG bro. That was even a rated game. +1 in me. We can send him rematch, let's see if he wants to play or not. If anyone wants to play, send me challenge. Well, let's play another one. Which opening should we play? Vienna Gambit I played. I didn't play today, I will say Vienna Gambit, so I missed that Gambit. A5 can actually happen if he don't play D6. D5 he needs to go back, probably A8, okay. Because forward I would just kick that. That's why I'm saying try to see that attacking moves, because I attacked and his knight moves 2 moves and that's need to go center, which I will move the knights and for that. Okay, but you don't need to move 2 times and bring it very bad square. Just okay, my king is in a little bit trouble, but anyway. Let's go king a1 because king a2 just d6 he could take this pawn, and actually bishop g4 he will take the queen. The right position isn't that bad. This pawn is gonna lose after some moves and you don't need to worry about that. I can offer queen trades. Just if he brings the rook, that should be really hard game for me to play, and if that's a file were upon. Ciao, Berjan, մերտեղեք հից կային, որ իջևան բլից մի քանի մրցում եկան, բայց ես չեկա. Queen a1, I'm trying to trade the queen, see if trade weren't happen, if the trade won't happen, just you know, his queen should be a little bit disactive square and I will try to kick his queen. Back and queen h4 should be great. Just I'm kicking his pieces back and getting some activation there. In the next move I believe bishop d3 and I will force his queen to go back, and that won't be on trap, but anyway, from h7 I'm trying to take and mate. Can I mate here? Takes and bishop check. I think just his king will be in a really bad place there. Just if I bring the bishop, I can think about mate, but really that's now can't happen. That was really tricky move, bishop d3, and that's attacking on his queen, and a4 even can't be moved. So you can calculate 6 or 8 moves, I don't know. See that you're gonna take bishop check, but you miss that a4 can happen and all that plan will destroy. How can I take with a bishop or with a queen? Իջևան չեմենակ, իջևան գիտեմ. I can take king f7, but what if queen takes? Well, he was offering queen trade because he was in a really bad position where I'm taking. If I check, king a7 won't work. King a7 won't work. Knight d5, I will take his queen. But anyway, I think he didn't have another move. Hi, wanna play? Yes, bro, send me challenge. After this, I'm gonna play with you. Is that your first time joining my streams or not? I'm trying to remember you. Probably from yesterday or not. If not, send me friend request. I will accept. Let's sacrifice the bishop on f4 and f6. f6 hang, and actually this diagonal is open. And in the next move I'm gonna take the rook, but let's not hang. Let's not miss mate in one. Okay, I did that. Well, I'm waiting for your challenge, and I mean I will reach 20 skill and you will send me. French Sicilian defense. Bishop c5, bishop e3 is common move that white players are playing. If he takes, that should be really tricky. He will lose this pawn on f2. If he takes my knight on c6. Try to understand that in your mind. Takes, I am trying to check from f2. He wasted so much time about that, and he didn't need to do this mistake because his knight is hanged, and actually from f2 I'm trying to check. King a2, I will mate, and king d2 check, and you know that should be really bad placed. So I'm gonna take this pawn anyway. And probably I can check. I'm trying to just bring his king in a very bad square, just where he can't castle. I can take king d1, and now I have really good pawn structure. B file is open for me, and so on. Ներով աղբերս ոնց հարմար է, հաջողություն քեզ, լավ որ եմ մաղթում. Bishop here, yes, I'm pressuring this diagonal very well, and c4 should be a little bit problem for him. Even if his bishop weren't protect, just d5 should be great. d5, okay, he's overprotecting that, so I'm up a pawn, I don't need to play some risky moves. Just let's try to double our rooks. Okay, I'm not missing anything. Take this pawn on d7. Not a problem. Because knight g3, I'm gonna take the bishop and this pawn on c4. a7 is hang, but he hangs the rook. I don't know why. Ապրես աղբեր ջան, հաջողություն. Well, I won this game. Daniel, I'm waiting for your challenge. I accept your friend request. I can probably send you challenge. Just that seems you aren't on chess.com. Well, I'm sending you 3+2. Is it okay? Let's wait some seconds and play. If anyone wants to play, send me. After that game, I will play with you who wants. Well, 1124, not bad rating. I will say great. Just up to 90% players on chess.com. d5, I would like to go here. Just because he's playing like King's Gambit, I will say that's typical Vienna game. But against Sicilian Gambit, you know that's a little bit hard to play because you're opening this diagonal. And actually that's not easy to protect. Ein mistreamin կխաղանք. Եղավ աղբերս կսպասեմ, ein mistreamin կխաղանք. I would like to go my knight on f6 because I'm trying to go d4. d4 I will kick the knight and e4 should be unprotected. He needs to care about that. Probably a5, a lot of players playing that, but for sure I don't like that move so much. Because they're just giving so much squares for my pawns here. a5 just can work anyway. When he tries, for example, g4 and push another pawns. But d3 is protecting, so now d4 won't work. Just d4 his knight will be bad placed. But anyway, I will completely to him, which I don't like, and I'm waiting for this trade to undouble my pawns. Okay, really come on, mistake. Below that 1300. I could Elijah Mayrekin stream him. Well, I tricked him, you know. Can I trick him second time or not? c3 can be only move, because that's opening the queen on a4 and the queen can actually defend that. Okay, his knight is hang. I would like to go bishop b4, but c3, you know I will hang a pawn there. If you see that position in your mind, that's really good. c5, see I undoubled my pawns and I'm up a figure here. Queen c6, this is hang. I mean that's not hang, but yes, some moves that can pressure his position. For example, bring the bishop and so on. Հաջողություն ախպեր ջան, կսպասեմ եք ուծվա։ Լավ որ քեզ։ He's trying to go a5. Just I don't know he went back for that. Probably he didn't even see that, but anyway. Let's bring this back. And castle here. Okay, a5 isn't that much good, I am gonna say, because now my knight can jump on d5, which I have really great squares, just all that dark squares. I can go and make some bad position for him. For example, knight c3. Just, you know, a2 should be under attack, and how he can kick my king from c3. f5 can be moved, but my bishop is protecting. That's probably why I don't need to bring my bishop on that b7. Oh, that was mouse click. I could even try to castle queenside because his pieces are doing a great job on kingside, and somehow he's gonna try to open this diagonal. g4 f5 actually can be good if he is trying to go f5. Knight c3, my knight will do great job, but somehow what should I do here? Ախպերս արխային գնա, չեմ նեղանա. Let's go g6 because I want so much to go my bishop on b7. Probably after that queen on c6, just let's be sure we are not get pinned and knight and bishop trade. I will say I need to keep my white square bishop. I'm up 5 point material. What I am up? I'm up 2 pieces against his 1 pawn. Well, he missed it if you remember. Okay, he resigned. Very well played. Let's play one more game here, or we can play a rematch. Let's see if he wants or not. Well, let's play another game and let's see who wants to play. I will play with you. Good game to you, bro. If you want, I sent rematch. You can accept and we will play. Եղավ ախպեր ջան, հաջողություն. We can play d4 this time, but remember I like e4 so much. And from d4 I like Catalan Gambit. Oh, England Gambit against me. Or that's called Budapest because d4 a5 right away called England Gambit. We can even defend this that's very looks like England, but you know the trick which they are doing to bishop b4 take the queen don't work here. a3 or a4 just my pawns should be a little bit overextended, and bishop d3. Okay, bishop a2 also some attack on his knight, but bishop is defending, and because his knight isn't on that h7, on f6 I mean to defend h7, we can create this diagonal. Okay, let's bring the bishop. Let's say I'm getting advantage from him, from his weaknesses. I can not to take double my pawns, destroy my pawn structure, but have this g file. I would like to have that, but you know, because g6 is protecting g file from his king so well. So bishop b2. My rook is protected now, and I didn't want to lose my bishop there. I'm forced to lose that. What is that? Yes, that was really tricky. He played great dead, by the way. I miss it. After this trade my bishop should be unprotected, but anyway. We are counterattacking so good, just see. Long castle here. His queen should be under attack after I will move the knight, and I will try to double my rooks, or probably not, because he can get this trade easily after rook d8, and I can't get d file. And I mean I can push this pawn forward and try to ruin his king side, which he's trying to do on my queen side. If he takes, okay, he can take and take it back. His queen should be under attack, but anyway, he has more attacker on that c4 than me. If I take from h7, he needs to sacrifice the queen to defend. That's why he needs to take. Just h take g6 will be made in one. But he saw that for sure. His queen is under attack, the file is open for my rook, and the bad thing, I'm down a piece. So what should I do? Probably double my rooks. I would like to keep my queen here, and I will say the rook on d1 is least active piece. If I take the queen, he will fork there, and he will take exchange from me. If I move my queen on a3, how he can defend his knight and queen? Probably queen c3 check. Oh no, he even can mate me from c2. Let's double the rooks and attack on h7. On h7 probably rook f7 can protect, but I'm trying to keep my queen on the diagonal for g7 and g6, g7 and h8 with weak squares there, and if I lucky enough to bring his pawn structure, I'm gonna try to mate from that squares. Okay, really good, and rook b8 can be moved. Rook b8 here, knight here. Let's see, can I reach that position or not? Probably I need one extra move to win that position. Anyway, let's sacrifice the rook, because we don't have enough time to bring the rook on h1, and because knight d3 was coming.